Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've made it through everything else. Now, to wrap things up with this week's Black Label books from DC Comics. Kicking things off, we've got Danger Street, number 12, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, Lady Cop had managed to get the body of the corpse of Good Looks back to her house. However, others had Warlord, Creeper, Orion had all shown up, but things, and as had Starman, Creeper and Warlord had been shot, and Lady Cop had also brought apparently a bag which included Metamorpho. Combination of the helmet and Starman brought Good Looks back to life, and the attempt was made to see if perhaps the same could be done for Starman and Creeper, and it was successful. At the same time, the Commodore had been kidnapped by the Outsiders. This is in fact how Creeper managed to get to Lady Cop's house. And the sword that the Commodore's knight had used had reverted back into an arm of a diamond arm. And so the issue opens on the Commodore's plane. As stated, the diamond arm sword had reverted to an arm, and then basically crawled its way out of the plane and further down the tarmac. Mary, it's pointed out though, well, her arms are different. She once again has hands and normal arms. In fact, all the Outsiders look how they normally should. Back at Lady Cop's house, those who've been dead are recovering. And Orion informs Lady Cop that she needs to tell Good Looks that he is the soul of Atlas, and therefore he has to basically hold the make sure that existence is not. He needs to go to the fulcrum and hold the sky. Lady Cop's exhausted, but wants coffee. But she opts to hold off for at least a little bit on telling Good Looks the bad news. Let him enjoy reading with his friends. He does. But the Commodore realizes he's free and tries to get everyone, as he's going to talk to the pilot, by getting the Outsiders off his plane. Orion tries to get the Creeper to help convince Lady Cop to send Good Looks to the fulcrum, but as Creeper's a superhero, and he's not a superhero, he's a celebrity. But Orion gives him a stern talking to, and seems to at least try and convince. Seems to at least somewhat convince Creeper to change his ways. Back with the green team, well, turns out the green team's fucked. Well, at least the Commodore. Having talked to the pilots, turns out the Feds have seized all of Green Team's assets in connection with the murders of their two partners. There are warrants out on the whole board for fraud and so many other things. Commodore can't call their lawyers because they don't have any money to pay them. Stock's in the toilet, so are they. But the others, now former member of the Green Team, basically explains that right after the Commodore tried to kill him, he turned to face evidence, so he's good. But the Commodore's still a minor, so he should be fine. But he's going to be sent to, not really to throw the book at him. At Lady Cop's house, the Diamond Arm returns to its owner, Metamorpho. Once again whole. And, Lady Cop tells the dingbats what's going on. Suggested they call Superman, get him to take care to save the day. But Lady Cop says Superman's not coming. Metamorpho says it's just them, and Creeper corrects him, saying no, it's just good looks. But Crunch suggests that the rest of the dingbats go with him, because without the dingbats, Danger Street's just a street. It's a street that Crunch walks down when he's getting some grapes. Orion states that it's possible, but his mother box is screwy at the moment to the power. Starman says he could probably provide the necessary power, and Warlord says he's not going to try and stop him, so. Meanwhile, Abdul and the Commodore are, well, walking down the road trying to figure out what they're going to do. The car shows up and picks up Abdul, leaving the Commodore on the strand outside of the road. And so, Starman with the mother box gets the dingbats to Fulcrum, and once that's done, Lady Cop states that yeah, they're all under arrest. Handful of crimes, and, later she drives the Helmet of Fate, which looks decidedly less blingy, I guess, out into the desert. Turns out to have questions. Adding that, it's just a helmet, so the normal rules don't apply. Then a man shows up, the Lord of Chaos. Basically saying that he's not going to get a straight answer. And that eventually he says that if he tells Lady Cop that if she did manage to get the helm to answer, he would just say, Once upon a time in a far-off kingdom. Later on Danger Street, the outsiders have taken up residence, seemingly taking the place of the dingbats. Lady Cop gives them a ticket for operating an unregistered vehicle without a license. Warlord and Starman are having a coffee. Jack Ryder is seeming to get a job at the Daily Planet. Commodore's in prison. The dingbats are in the fulcrum, preventing the sky from falling. Metamorpho is once again whole. And the helmet says that the moral of the tale is this entire story is this and only this. Where there are gods, there are princesses. And where there are princesses, there are stories. And where there are stories, there are noble people who, occasionally, live happily ever after. And that is where the series ends. This was a neat book. It's one thing that I like about DC's Black Label line is the freedom that writers get with it. You know, being able to craft tales that, potentially speaking, don't really fit into any known continuity. Often with characters that are horrendous and underutilized. But this was a good read. I liked it. Moving on, though, to our next book, we abandoned the underused DC characters for Batman Gargoyle of Gotham, #2. Where we left off, Batman, as well as the GCPD, were investigating a series of murders, and a link had been discovered between the victims. A doctor who used to practice at Arkham and disappeared. Meanwhile, Batman faced a man named Crytoon and had caught up with him. Crytoon appeared to be involved with an illegal TNT lab in a demolished in a dilapidated mansion. And so the issue begins. The man writing down notes when a mysterious hooded figure shows up in his home or office. At Arkham, Gordon's investigating the disappeared doctor as he was in charge of what had been Arkham's children's wing. After Dr. Quentin vanished, well, Arkham changed and lost its good reputation. But Gordon gets a call from Batman stating that Crytoon is part of something worse. That he ran a clandestine TNT laboratory in the mansion that exploded over the industrial zone. The TNT was produced on a large scale by enslaved beggars. There's sure to be more where it came from. At Wayne Industries, there's a protest. Basically, kind of, the underprivileged of Gotham trying to do what they can to. They're attempting to air their grievances to the overprivileged. Bruce is reflecting on his encounter with Crytoon while in sensory deprivation tank. it should be noted that at this point in time, Bruce Wayne considers the Bruce Wayne aspect of himself to be a weakness that it must be excised. Gordon interrogates Krytoon unsuccessfully, and it's decided that he get sent out to Arkham while the Commissioner wants to talk to Gordon. Batman comes out of his sensory deprivation tank, sees a bit of the news about the protest at Wayne Industries, and rather flippantly disregards the protesters. The Commissioner talks to Gordon, basically telling him that he can't be informing Batman of active cases or even talking with Batman. At a local church, a priest is giving a sermon and spies a young hooded woman in one of the pews with scars on her face. This prompts him to and one of the others continue the sermon. Across town, at a mansion, cops find a seemingly another dead body. Meanwhile, Jim Gordon has gone to the home of one of the other names on the list of pages for the missing doctor, Wayne Manor. Apparently, the doctor treated Bruce when Bruce was a kid. But Bruce is busy for the foreseeable future. And Bruce learns that he was briefly held at Arkham after the murder of his parents. The full story goes that while Alfred was driving Bruce home, Bruce slipped out of the car, found viciously attacked a homeless man, and was taken to Arkham's children's wing, where Dr. Quinton treated him. But this is all things he doesn't remember. Alfred suggests that as now Bruce is wondering if Batman was even his idea, Alfred suggests that Bruce find out who Bruce Wayne really is. The priest from earlier is taking confession. He appears to be involved in some illicit dealings. There are moths flying around the church, though. And he explains that the young girl came to see him, but the associate who's giving confession says that they can take care of her. He says not to worry about her. Later, Bruce goes to a assisted living facility and meets the man that he beat when he was on the night of his parents' murder. He had beaten to the point of paralysis. The man confesses to killing the Waynes. Though Bruce is in isn't entirely convinced that that's actually the man who killed his parents. Alfred drives them by Wayne Industries, and the leader of the protest tries to talk to him. But, well, again, Bruce is dismissive of her, and it gets recorded. A symbol is found at the murder scene. Batman investigates. Gordon makes it clear that, that tries to basically say that, Batman isn't in charge of things, and also tells him to piss off. They say you can disappear now. Though Batman finds a clue in the floorboards and he gives it to Gordon. But Gordon goes to track down another lead, finding an old priest. The image that was found at the crime scene is chronicled by Alfred, with it's apparently the clock face of the Hotel Townsend. As as Jim talks to the priest, the symbol that Batman gave him at the crime scene is shown on a Bible. Moths appear to be all over the father's apartment. The Hotel Townsend seems to be rather active, but an entity that seemingly controls moths is in the priest's apartment and attacks Gordon. Batman deals with the goons on the roof of the hotel. Crytune is being shipped off to, be executed and have his body dumped, but gets loose, kills the officers escorting him, and seemingly escapes. Gordon is not having a good time with an easy time with the moth creature, and the young girl from the church shows up, manages to drive her away, and surrenders when Gordon points his gun at her. But back at the Hotel Townsend, Batman goes through the skylight on the roof, finding a cult, the leader of which seems to have been waiting for Batman and welcomes him home. And that is where the issue ends. Interesting. I would assume that Batman's disregard for the plight of the disadvantaged of Gotham, and this is largely just due to his, at the moment, desire to expunge himself of the Bruce Wayne aspects of who he is. But otherwise, interesting. Very interesting. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Batman City of Madness, #2. Where we left off, Gotham, new madness had apparently seemingly popped up in Gotham. Around the same time that something that was being guarded by the Court of Owls escaped. So it appeared to resemble a combination of Batman and Cthulhu. This dark Batman has taken a young boy from Smallville, whose father was killed in Gotham recently, with the intention of making said boy as Robin. Batman is interrogating the various trying to get as control as he can, starting with Flamingo and then Ventriloquist. Though Scarface appears to be acting much more deranged, and this time it seems that the Ventriloquist is actually harming people. But Ventriloquist snaps and smashes Scarface. There's a flashback to when he first got Scarface. It was after the murder of his mother. He had been toting around a teddy bear as a coping mechanism. The bear was gotten rid of, and Scarface was given to him instead. Talon is tracking Batman. And at Arkham, Two-Face is remembering when he became Two-Face. The boy asks the Eldritch Batman what he is and why he wants the boy to be his Robin. The Talon explains to Batman what it is, and that basically there's a Gotham underneath Gotham, the Gotham below. In the Gotham below, everything in the Gotham above is represented there, just twisted. Harvey's more amplified madness is because of the barrier between the two being breached. But Nightwing crashes through the window at Wayne Manor, and Alfred patches him up. Apparently, Nightwing was dealing with Clayface, who had gone full-blown monster. And Alfred is fearing for Batman. But Dick sees what's going on in Gotham and starts to realize starts to think maybe the Bat family is somewhat responsible for this. But Talon leads Batman underground to the Court of Owls. They propose an alliance. Batman accepts. Tell him of the Gotham below. Shit. But the Batman below and his would-be ward find someone who might be related to the murder of the boy's father. Batman below decides this man is wicked, and so killing him will be just fine. But Batman and the Talon head to the door to Gotham below. The change of voice in Harvey's head passes along more information, and the Nightwing shows up, wanting to know what Harvey told him. And Nightwing also mentions to Harvey that they don't know where Batman is. That said, Arkham's newest guest for the moment has found a way to once again bring back his coping mechanism. Alfred Wesker has carved a face into his hand. But Nightwing manages to get in touch with Batman, tells him, lets him know what's going on, and that everything's fine. He's got this, but Batman begins to see some parallels between what he raised, the way he raised Dick, and basically how Arnold Wesker became ventriloquist. Meanwhile, the Court of Owls have additional plots, meaning to destroy the Gotham below while Batman's in it. And within the Gotham below is a rather large owl statue. And that is where the issue ends. Very interesting. I think I mentioned this with the first issue, but I love the way the art reflects the insanity of the story. That is one thing I do appreciate about these about the Batman Black Label books, is that DC is able to get artists that might not be the right fit for mainstream Batman book, and basically let them kind of just go wild, do their thing. Moving on though to our last book for the week, we've got Waller vs. Wildstorm number 4, wrapping up the miniseries. Where we left off, shortly before his death, Jackson King, aka Battalion, had basically spilled some tea about Checkmate. The issue opens in Free Perusia, territory unconquered by the Republic of Gamora. Apparently, with Kaizen Gamora, basically just let the Perusians alone. His daughter, yeah, she kicked the hornet's nest, and so now she has to worry about holding on to the bay and the coast, and keeping the Perusians at bay. But a new weapon has been loose, a bioweapon that manages to turn the flora against the Perusians. While Fumiko Gamora, now wearing the Cyberneria chassis, goes into further attack, killing off other members of the Perusian Liberation Front. But Waller and Adeline Kane are in a hearing, along as is Miles Craven, about revelations made of the Daily Planet by the late Jackson King. And overall, everything seems to work out for Adeline and Waller. Seems that Waller is going to be likely to first guarantee her career going forward. But Shelby, Virginia, Waller and Adeline suit up with an exosuit made by Dr. Angela Spica, and are flown up to Skywatch by Magestros. They arrive and get a much better idea of what Skywash does, and now they they have a meeting to attend, consisting of the two of them, Henry Bendix, the weatherman, Miles Craven, Majestros, and Kaiser Gamora. Waller's operation in Gamora is applauded for its successes, basically making the entire Pacific a U.S. shipping lane. But the question is how to move forward. Majestros explains the threat of the Daemonites. Kaizen doesn't care, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we're not going to. Gamora won't be involved in the war. But it seems that Checkmate will be. That said, Checkmate there will be a reorganization of Checkmate as a means of contrition for the recent events, combining international operations and Checkmate, thus allowing international operations access to superpowered operatives. But Adeline, Waller throws Adeline under the bus. Adeline's escorted out, with even Gamora saying that Kaiser Gamora stating that he had never heard of Adeline Kane before she walked in the room. That said, Waller is not given the cushy assignment she thought she was going to be given. Instead, she's placed in charge of a prison, Belle Reve Penitentiary. Lois Lane tracks down the remains of Ivana Bayul, brings them to her parents, who know that there will be no justice for their daughter. All the while, Waller gets further unfettered use of superhumans, though unfettered for her. They are fettered, namely by an explosive in the base of their skull. And that is where the series ends. This was a damn good read. The idea of a DC universe with little to none of the superheroes that we normally have, but rather the Wildstorm characters is quite interesting. This is a universe I'd love to see further expanded upon, but honestly, if it wasn't, that'd be fine too. Anyways, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.